Hi friends, today we'll discuss a derivation of one-dimensional wave equation. Consider a flexible string tightly stretched between two fixed points at a distance L apart. Let ρ be the mass per unit length of the string. Now we assume the following things, that is, first one, the tension T of the string is same throughout. Next, second one, the effect of a gravity can be ignored due to large tension T. Third one, the motion of the string is in small transverse vibrations. Now, let us consider the forces acting on a small element AB. We consider AB here of the length delta x. Let T1 and T2 be the tensions at the points A and B. Since there is no motion in the horizontal direction, the horizontal components T1 and T2 must be cancel each other because our tension is vertical direction. Therefore, there is no direction in the horizontal. Therefore, horizontal components T1 and T2 must be cancel each other. Therefore, T1 cos alpha and T2 cos beta equal to T. We call this equation number 1, where alpha and beta are the angles made by T1 and T2 with the horizontal. The vertical components of the tension are minus T1 sin alpha and T2 sin beta, where negative sign is used because T1, the tension T1 is directed downwards. Hence, the resultant force acting vertically upwards is T2 sin beta minus T1 sin alpha. Now, by applying Newton's second law of motion, that is, force equal to mass into acceleration, then we get the force is T2 sin beta minus T1 sin alpha, which is equal to mass, that is rho into delta x. Acceleration is dou to u by dou t square, that is rho dx is mass of the element, the portion AB, and second derivative with respect to t is acceleration. Now, dividing throughout by t, we have T2 sin beta divided by t minus T1 sin alpha divided by t equal to rho dx by t dou to u by dou t square. Now, from the equation number 1, here we need to cancel this T2 by t and T1 by t. Therefore, using the equation number 1, we can take this t to the left side, that is T2 by t, which is equal to 1 by cos beta. Therefore, T2 by t equal to 1 by cos beta. Similarly, from the equation number 1, again here we need to cancel T1 by t. Therefore, from the equation number 1, T1 by t equal to 1 by cos alpha. T1 by t equal to 1 by cos alpha. Therefore, our equation becomes T2 by t is cos 1 by cos beta. Therefore, sin beta divided by cos beta is tan beta minus T1 by t is 1 by cos alpha. Therefore, sin alpha divided by cos alpha is tan alpha equal to rho divided by t delta x into dou to u by dou t square. Now, but tan beta and tan alpha represents the slope at the point beta of x plus delta x, that is here. This is slope at the tan beta at the point B, and at the point A, that is A of x, that is tan alpha, is the slope respectively. Therefore, tan beta equal to dou u by dou x at the point x plus delta x, and tan alpha equal to dou u by dou x at the point A, that is at the point x. Therefore, our equation number 2 becomes tan beta is dou u by dou x at the point x plus delta x minus tan alpha is dou u by dou x at the point x equal to rho by t delta x dou to u by dou t square. Dividing delta x and taking the limit delta x tending to 0, then we have limit delta x tending to 0, dou u by dou x at the point x plus delta x minus dou u by dou x at point x divided by delta x equal to, here delta x get cancel, we get rho by t dou to u by dou t square. But the LHS is nothing but the derivative of dou u by dou x with respect to x, treating t as a constant. That is dou u by dou x of dou by dou x of dou u by dou x, that is dou to u by dou x square. Therefore, LHS is dou to u by dou x square equal to rho by t dou to u by dou t square, which implies I will transfer this rho by t to the LHS. Therefore, dou to u by dou t square equal to t by rho dou to u by dou x square. Now, denoting that t by rho as a c square, we get dou to u by dou t square equal to c square into dou to u by dou x square, that is utt equal to c square uxx is the one-dimensional wave equation. Now, we consider the derivation of the one-dimensional heat equation. We can see the figure. This is the bar, sliding bar. You can consider the cross-sectional area PQRS and P dash, Q dash, R dash, S dash. This is the elemental area. Now, this is origin and our heat flows in the x-axis. Now, this is at the point P, origin from the distance x, and this slide is at the distance x plus delta x, and the length of the two slides is delta x. Now, we have the following empirical laws based on the observations, that is experiment, in the respect of heat flow. First one, heat flows from higher temperature to lower temperature. The second law, the amount of heat in a body is proportional to its mass and temperature. The rate of heat flow across an area is proportional to the area and to the temperature gradient and normal to the area where the constant of proportionality, that is K, is called as thermal conductivity. Consider a non-homogeneous bar the constant cross-sectional area, that is A. Let rho be the density and S be the specific heat and K be the thermal conductivity of the material. Let the sides be insulated so that the streamlines of a heat flows are parallel and perpendicular to the cross-sectional area A. Let one of the end of the bar is taken as origin O and the direction of the heat flow be the positive x-axis. Let we can take U as a U of xt be the temperature of the slab at a distance x from the origin. Consider an element of the bar between the plane, consider the element of the bar between planes PQRS and P dash Q dash R dash at a distance x and x plus delta x from the origin O. Let delta U be the change in the temperature in a slab of the thickness delta x. This is the slab thickness delta x of the bar. The mass of the element equal to A into rho dx. The quantity of heat stored in this slab element is A into rho S delta x delta U. Hence, the rate of increase of heat in this slab element is R equal to A rho S delta x dou U by dou T. You can call this equation number 1. If Ri is the rate of inflow of heat and Ro is the rate of outflow of heat, therefore we can write Ri equal to minus Ka into dou U by dou x at the point x, because here it is the inflow, heat is inflow, and Ro is minus Ka dou U by dou x at the point x plus delta x. That is, here our heat is outflow. Therefore, where the negative sign is due to the first empirical law, that is, heat flows from higher temperature to lower temperature. But here our heat is started from lower temperature to higher temperature, therefore it is a negative sign. Hence, from equation number 1 and 2, we can write R equal to Ri minus Ro. Therefore, R from the equation number 1, next Ri, that is minus, next minus Ro. This by simplifying here in the both Ka is common. Next, this is minus of minus positive. First I will write, that is dou U by dou x at the point x plus delta x minus dou U by dou x at the point x. Next, I will transfer these whole term to the RHS. Therefore, dou U by dou t equal to K, here A get cancelled, K divided by rho S, and this delta x comes here. Now, taking the limit as delta x tending to 0, therefore equation number 3 becomes as dou U by dou t equal to K divided by rho S, and this is differentiation of dou u by dou x, that is dou by dou x of dou u by dou x. Therefore we will get dou 2u by dou x square, and we can denote c square as k by rho s, which is called as density of the substance. Therefore we have dou u by dou t equal to, this term is c square, then from the differentiation we have dou 2u by dou x square, and by in the notation we can write it as ut equal to c square uxx, which is the one dimensional heat equation.